Congratulations. It's time for Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here is your host, the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
It's a game time decision. J-Mo, what did I say yesterday when we were going through all of the scenarios? What was my scenario for the verdict at 5 o'clock when they would tell you about Ja's status?
I don't remember it. I remember we laid out all the we laid out like the 10 different tiers of possibilities.
5 different possibilities.
Oh, only 5.
They are out, doubtful, questionable, probable, available. Those are the 5. What did I say?
Questionable?
I did. I said you won't know till game time. And what did they say? Game time decision. That's questionable.
I'm questioning it. That's right.
No doubt. I think he'll play. I'll be shocked if he doesn't, honestly.
Really?
I do. And it's must win. And you know what? I think they will win. I think they're the hungrier team at this point. And the Lakers, well, the Lakers already did what they had to do. They had to win one game to get home court advantage. They got it. And they may be the deeper team when you consider Josh Hurt, no Brandon Clark, and no Steven Adams. Now, you take in what Hashimura has done, what Schroeder's capable of doing, or D'Angelo Russell, because I put them as 1 and 1A at the point guard position. I think, really, if you think about it, L.A. is probably the deeper team. And you got to give Rob Pelinka and that staff that have been around a while, they realized, what was it, 15 games in, they had a problem. They made the right moves at the trade deadline. They changed themselves. They had a two-way guy that they saw a lot of promise with, who's now a starter named Austin Reeves. The greatest thing is Hashimura, because the guy could not shoot in college. 5 of 6 from 3. He won't do that again. He will not do that again. I'll be shocked if he has that kind of consistency. He'll be a good player. He'll still get double digits tonight. He won't score 29 points. He won't go 5 of 6 from three-point range. In fact, he won't get 6 shots from three-point range. That's my bold prediction. I do think Jaren Jackson Jr., particularly because of the injury to Morant, will get in the upper 20s, early 30s, because they need him to. He's going to get the shots. The question will be, will he continue to be that force inside? You notice one of the things that I admire about him this year is that he's decided, I'm a pretty big guy with some pretty good length. I think I'll take more shots inside than outside. I think that has come with gaining strength and angles and beefing up a little bit. And so now he's a better inside player than he was when he was younger. He'll still shoot the three. He actually shoots less, and his percentages are higher. But I think he'll exploit whoever's on him. He scored over LeBron and over Anthony Davis in the last game.
And he was good, certainly. It almost gives me some pause, too, because that was probably the best game I've ever seen him play. And they still lost. So they certainly need that from him again. It's kind of like you said, limiting these other guys. I wonder what the strategy will be in those regards, because it's not like you're going to stop double teaming Anthony Davis to hedge on Rui Hachimura. You know what I mean?
Right. But I think as on the year, what is he? A 29% three-point shooter?
Rui, yeah. He's
okay,
not
so
very
you're going to make some adjustments. You're not going to let him have wide open looks.
Right.
But you're still. I mean, if you've got to double to stop a sure thing inside, you're going to take your chances. And the odds are still going to be, this guy's not going to go 5 or 6.
I agree. You make him do it again, basically. You dare him to do it again.
I don't know that I dare him that many times. And I don't know if you listened, but Taylor Jenkins said that was the game plan in the first quarter. They adjusted, and the Grizzlies defense did not execute the way they should have. Or maybe it's the Lakers with great execution that confounded the Grizzlies, but they still found good looks for what is Hashimura's first name? Rui. He's an interesting guy, very articulate. Greg Aston and I went to the Lakers press conference after, and it was fun listening to LeBron, who talks like he's the player, a coach, and a general manager all in one. Like he's talking about leadership and how you got to know which button to push on each guy, and some guys you got to pat on the rear end, some guys you can chastise in front of people, that works for them. Other people you have to take aside. He said my parenting skills from raising children helped me with that. So he's like taking credit for Hashimura and for Austin Reeves. Interestingly, he said Austin Reeves, he knew first practice that he was better than a two-way player and that he would be an integral part of the Lakers team. First practice. He said because of his high IQ. Hashimura was interesting. You know, he grew up in Japan.
That's right.
Was a terrific inside player at Gonzaga. And so he speaks fluent Japanese. I actually sit next to, at the game, I only went to one Grizzlies game this year because of my schedule, and it kind of clears out for the playoffs. So I sit in the press area. I sit next to this woman. She's in her fourth year. Delightful lady. I noticed she was doing a stand-up on the floor before the game. I wasn't sure who she was. She's got a Grizzlies microphone. So the little banner thing that they have on the microphone, it says Grizzlies on one side. On the other side, it's Chinese. So I asked her, and she said, I am the social media director for the Grizzlies for China. So she posts everything in China on social media about the Grizzlies. It's her fourth year. They brought her from, I don't know where she came from, but they brought her here to do it. And she's also fluent in Japanese. So she asked Hashimura a question in Japanese, and he answered her. It was interesting. That's how international the game is. I can't imagine he'll be the consistent number that he was. I do think Reeves will. I think the question is going to be, can the Grizzlies complementary players? Because remember we went over it. The complementary players to LeBron, not all of them. It's not the whole bench. But the key players, Hashimura, Reeves, and Russell, 71 points. The Grizzlies, Tyus Jones, Xavier Tillman. I didn't count Bane in this because I consider him a principal. I'm trying to remember who the third guy. It was 18 points. They're not going to get outscored by the complementary players. 18 points. Kennard. And Kennard is incredibly important in this game. Maybe the most important guy for improvement from game 1 to game 2 because he only had 5 shots. He only had 4 threes, and he was only 1 of 4 from three-point range. The Grizzlies cannot win without Clark and without Adams and without a healthy Ja. They're not going to win the points in the paint. They have got to make it up by getting some threes, whether that's Bane or Kennard, even Triple J to a certain extent. You've got to get some threes. And what were they outscored by in that game? It was, I don't know, 3 or 4, wasn't it?
16 to 13, threes made.
3. The guy's got to be at least even for the Grizzlies to win. They got to hit threes. I think Kennard becomes the most important player. That is my sense. We got a busy show. We're going to get a hold of the general manager of the Memphis Showboats, Dave Rosano. We'll talk more about the Grizz Lakers Game 2, the NBA with Pete Pranica. And, of course, it's Wednesday. We make our golf picks. Oh, my gosh. I've got 9.3 million in winnings already this season. That's crazy. I'm up 6 mil on everybody. But it's a long year. There's still some more 3.6 mil first prizes out there, so we'll wait and see. I'm sitting in the Family Leisure Studios, and a reminder with you, Vacation at Home sale is happening, and I mean it's going big for sure. Right there at I-40 and Wooden Road, pools, lowest prices in town. Free liner upgrades with the pool purchase during this Vacation at Home sale. There's special financing available. You can even get a play gym. Say you heard this ad here, half off on the installation. Half off on any installation of anything. If you mention Sports 56, you know what's going on. at Family Leisure. And our title sponsor for this program, as always, it's Homer. We're proud of that. And Homer Skelton Hyundai also has Genesis cars. Not all Hyundai dealerships have Genesis cars, but they do. Right at the corner of Craft Road, the first exit in Mississippi, off Highway 78, which is Lamar. 12 minutes away. Go see my guy, Chris True, or really, go see Vinny Gerard, because there's this deal on the G70. That's the smaller luxury Genesis. I call it a rocket ship. It's a sports car. It is cool. If you agree to finance with Genesis, they will give you $1,000. They're literally giving you $1,000 to do business with them at Homer Skelton Hyundai. Never had the pleasure to meet Dave Rosano. He's the general manager of your Memphis Showboats, but I know he's been around a long time in the NFL with San Francisco in the 80s, early 90s, 2 Super Bowls with the Rams. He won a Super Bowl. He was with St. Louis and Arizona for a long time, with Indy until 2018. He is the architect of this Showboats team. It started in Tampa last year. Dave, good morning. Thank you for joining us today. And I guess the first question is, what turned you on, after all this NFL experience, to becoming a pioneer in the second version of the USFL?
Well, my career goes back to the, not sure if you remember the old WFL, the Memphis Stoutman.
You're kidding! With Danny White and Jim
Larry
Kick?
Zonka.
Yeah,
exactly.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was, I was probably, a freshman in high school. I was a locker room manager for the Jacksonville Sharks. So,
oh my!
Yeah, we go way back. But
so hold on a second. You're
yeah.
from Jacksonville. That's where you went to high school.
I actually went to high school in Jacksonville. Yeah.
So you'd be a little bit older, but do you know the Tigers football coach Ryan Silverfield, who is also a Jacksonville native?
I don't know him.
Oh my goodness! You got to meet.
Jeez, gosh, I wonder where he went to high school.
I don't know.
I'll have to find that out.
Yeah.
Oh man, but no, these are fun. These leagues are fun, and we're having a great time here, and we had a chance to win, and that was the key. We played well enough to win. We had a few mistakes here and there, but Philly's a good team, and we fought and battled, and just came up a little short. Never fun to lose, but yeah, Dave, these are a lot of fun, and a lot of chemistry on the team, and we're having a good time. We just need to get that W.
It had to make you feel a lot more confident, at least, because you were right there with the team that was the runner-up that took on Birmingham for the championship a year ago. Let's go back to last year when you're building this team, and or even to the transition from Tampa to Memphis. When you're building a team from scratch, what are the first 2 or 3 things that are priorities for you?
Well, you're trying to get the quarterback position situated.
Right.
You're trying to add competition there, and you're just trying to add players. And these leagues, unlike the NFL, when you have a list and you rank guys, this is pretty much it's a free for all. You have players, thousands of players from the CFL, indoor leagues, arena leagues. I mean, you just have so much volume, and so you're trying to find players, and they're not easy to get, but then the ones that come, you're happy with, and you have a lot of players who actually sign and then decide to opt out, a month later. So it's really a challenge. But, again, you're looking to add talent, just like you do in the NFL. You're looking to add talent. You're looking to add quality guys, and you use your resources. You use, your tape you have, and, you're just trying to get guys who are competitive and solid character guys. So we think we have a pretty good group chemistry-wise and character-wise, and they all get along, and, that's a start. But, yeah, you know what? Never fun to lose, though. I mean, you just, never fun to lose, and we'll just have to try to get back on the win column this week.
So if your first priority is you got to have a quarterback, everybody knows that, most important position probably in any sport.
No question.
But then what do you have to get? You have to get an offensive line to protect him, or a left tackle in particular, or do you want a rusher on defense at the line? You want a linebacker that's really going to bolster your middle? Where are you looking when you're building this whole thing?
Well, the first thing you're trying to do is re-sign the players from the previous year. Jaron Jones, the left tackle. So that was a big key because he flirted with the other leagues for a while, and so we finally got him to come back. So yeah, you're looking for linemen. They're hard to find even in the NFL level. They're hard to find. You're looking for pass rush. It's pretty much supply and demand. The quarterback, the lineman, those guys are hardest to find. And, you build from there, but you definitely have to have the protection. We protected well. You don't know what to expect in that first game, but the fact that we didn't give up any sacks was encouraging. And, we had 5 sacks. So I was really pleased with that, because when you go into these games initially, you really don't know what to expect. You're trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to play? How are we going to compete and all that stuff? But we were happy with the effort. But to your point, you're the big people are always hardest to find, and you're always emphasizing the rushers, the tackles, those sort of things. But it's just like any league. The big talented players are harder to find than the skilled players.
When you look at this team, and now you've seen them in competition only 1 week, and I know it hurts to lose, but you probably had some good feeling about that L. Certainly you had to feel pretty good about the fans, that's for sure. But when you evaluate now, what are your strengths on this team? What do you got to shore up still?
Well, the strength, I'll tell you what, I was really pleased with the defensive effort, especially in the second half. I think we pretty much shut down a really good offense, maybe the best offense from last year. I think the effort was there. I didn't see a lot of stamina issues. We have speed. We have a lot of team speed on defense, the linebackers and secondary, a lot of good depth. You're always trying to shore up the offensive line. We've had a couple of injuries, unfortunately, early on. So, you're always trying to shore up the line and, to try to get our passing game rolling a little bit better. And so that's always a little bit harder. You have to get the timing down. And so, our run game, we're confident in the run game with Alex Collins. And our line actually came together and played pretty well. But you're trying to, you're always trying to shore up linemen. You're always looking for linemen, and there's injuries, and they happen in this league like any other league. And you just have to be prepared to go out there and look for guys who can help you. In the trenches, mainly.
Yeah, I thought you made a nice adjustment in the second half. In the first half, I thought Philly was killing you on just those little swing passes in the flat where the outside linebacker was getting killed by the running back coming out of the backfield, and you took that away in the second half.
Well, you know what? We really have a good staff. We have professionals. Carnell Lake, really almost a Hall of Fame player with the Steelers all those years, and Todd Haley. Those guys are kind of cut out of the same cloth. They're very composed. They don't go crazy on game day. You don't hear a lot of yelling. They're really calm, and they just have really good demeanor about them. They're good coaches. We have a lot of good assistant coaches, and they're good teachers. So you can see that because like Coburn, the running back of Philly, at the end of the day, he had not a great day, but early on they beat us, and we adjusted to those swing routes, and that's what we have. We have really good teachers, and you're going to see a lot of that this year. Those guys know how to adjust. They're professionals, and so I'm excited moving forward.
So as you evaluate, who's a guy maybe wasn't great in game one, but by the third or fourth game on this team, we're going to know who he is?
Well, I think there's a linebacker he kind of came in as a backup. He has a lot of NFL experience, Nate Hall. And when he got in the game, you could see his speed, you could see his aggression, you could see his production. So it's guys like that. It's guys like, Quentin Meeks was inactive the first game. He's going to really have an impact. He's also a guy that was in the Saints camp this past year. So I think guys like that, I think Malik Lawal, linebacker, who's a 4-5 guy, I think you're going to see him have impacts moving forward as an edge rusher. It's guys like that. And so we have a kid playing this week, Lamont McFadder, who's a kid that, you might hear about him. He's a physical guy and was a good player in college, and he'll get his first opportunity. But, there's guys that moving forward.
Dave, what position does he play?
He's a safety. He's
safety?
A safety.
Okay.
McFadder, Nate Hall, guys like that. Of course, Jordan Williams had a really good game, 2 sacks. And so, we have some guys. And also John Mitchell, kind of a tight end / wide receiver. He's a 4-5 guy and really, really good at practice. He was inactive the first week, but I think a kid like that's going to have an impact in the receiving game. So, we're excited moving forward about some of these guys who really didn't have much of an impact the first game.
Birmingham won the title last year. You got to take them on this week. They're going to be at home. Are they as good as they were a year ago? Are they the team to beat? What are the keys for this one on Saturday?
I think we just have to go in and play our brand of football. We have to compete. We can't make mistakes. They are a good team. They're legitimate. Everything they get, they deserve. I mean, they're well coached. They're good on offense, good on defense. You have to really contain the quarterback. Magoo, they do that two-system quarterback where the one kid's a really good runner, Magoo is, and so you have to be ready to contain him and just play our game and sort of go in there and you can't make mistakes. You can't turn the ball over, but we're confident, and it's good to play these good teams early. Philly and Birmingham back to back. Those are good challenges, and so you get them out of the way early and see what you're made of. But we'll go in there ready to play. We've had a great week of practice, and we're going to see what we're made of early because they are a legitimate team. They have a lot of talent on that team.
We're talking with Showboat's general manager Dave Rosano. Last thing. Everybody I've talked to in regards to the Boats has talked about this is here to stay. I heard Daryl Johnston say it from the executive level. I've heard Steve Macy say it. I was here for the original Showboats, was on the broadcast team. I've seen the Alliance of American Football fail, the CFL fail, the first rendition of the XFL fail. Now they're trying it for a second time. What makes it, in your mind, and you're a part of this, why are you guys so sure this thing is going to happen and stick around for a while?
Well, I think it's obvious having the big Fox media conglomerate behind us. I mean, that's really never happened in one of these spring leagues. And I think they have a really good plan. They have good leadership. We have good leadership. And so I think just the Fox brand and those guys knowing how to do things, I think that's huge for us. And so I can see this thing being around a while. I don't think this is a 1 or 2 or 3 year deal. I think just being around it the way they have their plan mapped out is really, really impressive. And I think they just do a great job. And I think that it could be here to stay because of Fox. And Fox kind of, they know what they're getting into and they have a budget and they were over budget last year. I mean, under budget, actually. They made money. And so as long as you're making money, I think that's the key. And they do that and they know how to operate. These people have been around a while and they've been really successful. So I think that's the key to this whole thing and having the leadership of Daryl Johnston and the people in the front office, and having a sound plan moving forward. So I think it all comes back to Fox and their leadership and how they vision the future of the league. I think it's a really, really positive plan and moving forward. And I think it'll be here a while.
That bodes for a lot of fun for all of us here who love football. Dave, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. I'm sure we'll do it a few more times. Thank you so much.
Hey, it's my pleasure.
That is the general manager of the Boats. That is Dave Rosano. He's brought to you by another Memphis institution, and that is Old Dominick. And by the way, speaking of Old Dominick, they got those new releases with the bottle in bond whiskey and the sipping whiskey that Alex Castle, their master distiller, just put out. But I got to start talking to you because we're into beer season. It kind of shifts me over to Grind City, where there's Tiger Tail and there's the Pilsner called Poppy's Pils. Again, all about Memphis. And if you haven't been to the brewery that's right to the north of downtown, right on the river, you are really missing something special. Grind City and Old Dominick, spirits that are all about Memphis. We pause for a second. When we come back, more on the Grizz. He's working tonight, I'm pretty sure. Pranica and Brevin Knight and Fish all are getting back to work. 6:30 tonight. The Grizz, the Lakers, Game 2. That's on the docket when we return.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
There are so many ways to buy and sell houses these days. How do you choose? Well, of course, choose the right way with Chet Whitsitt. Chet has over 37 years of experience as both a broker and a sales agent. He's helped lots of people buy and sell homes, and he will help you. It's the right way, and it's that easy. Buying, selling, or referrals, check with Chet at 901-484-5689 and Cry Like Realtors at 901-756-8900. Buying or selling? Check with Chet Whitsitt.
It's time to hit the road in your new Kia from Gossett Kia on the Pike. You'll be turning heads and dropping jaws in a 2023 Kia Forte LXS. 41 MPG, now $249 a month, $27.99 due at signing. Or take your pick from all-around good-looking SUVs in 2023 Seltos LX all-wheel drive, $29.99 due at signing. Or 2023 Kia Soul LX, $27.99 due at signing, $269 a month, your choice, all 36-month leases. Plus reliability you can count on. Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Can't find what you're looking for? Let Bobby J order you a new ride today. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte PE 581,348, MSRP 21,690, Seltos P 745,838, MSRP 24,840, Soul P 72,05,317, MSRP 22,250. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/23. Dealer stock only. Warranties. A limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company, we have it all. From handmade Amish leather belts, fine and casual clothing, boots, casual boots, work boots, fancy boots, and even safety-toed boots. Lots of cowboy hats to choose from, even Nebo lights, Orco hard coolers, good-looking duck head dress shirts, duck head caps, shorts, and pants. Tons of jeans from Ariat, Wrangler, Devil Dog, and Kimes Ranch jeans. At Hewlett & Dunn, we have a great selection of Old South t-shirts and caps. Fine clothing from dress to casual to Sunday best. Enjoy choosing from UFO's orthopedic-approved shoes. Hewlett & Dunn Boot and Clothing Company. Boots of every size, every color, every skin. Great quality Western, work, and safety toe boots. Hewlett & Dunn Boots and Clothing Company. 111 North Center Street, Collierville. Hewlett & Dunn. Hewlett & Dunn, serving you and your family since 1961.
Ole Miss Rebel Yell is back. The Rebel Yell Hotline Radio Show is back on WHBQ Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Every Monday night at 6, hear the latest news on your Ole Miss Rebels with Yancey Porter with 24/7 Sports, former Ole Miss defensive tackle Mike Fitzsimmons, Gordon Ford covering SEC Sports Call, and former Ole Miss baseball announcer Gary Darby. From kickoff to free throw to extra innings, your Ole Miss Sports on the Rebel Yell Hotline Show. Right here Monday night at 6 on Sports 56, 560 AM and 98.5 FM. Your Mid-South Sports Station.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Going to be in the 80s today, a little windy, but in the 80s. Hope that your air conditioning system will live up to the heat. Beat the rush. Get that 16-point Energy Saver Super Tune-Up for $69 right now from Conway. It really does help in the long run. You're not going to have a costly breakdown during the hottest months of the year. You save money on your MLGW bill because you're efficient, and once you're efficient, your system lasts longer. All you got to do is call 384-3511. Keep your family cool all summer long by calling that number, or go to conwayservices.com. As Pete likes to tweet, we have a game tonight, and Pete's got to work. How about that? You get to actually do the game tonight because this is TNT and not ABC. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes, we can go in the first round of the playoffs. Local telecasters can go side by side with TNT or ESPN, just not ABC. So we're good for tonight and certainly through Game 4 of this series.
All right. So I know you know. Maybe you can't talk about it, but who is Ja playing tonight?
I don't think anybody knows, and the Grizzlies certainly are going to keep it close to the vest. Look, you want to keep Darvin Ham guessing. You want to make sure that the Lakers prepare for the eventuality or the possibility of Ja Morant playing. You're not going to tip your hand. It will be a game time decision, and basically it's going to be a pain tolerance issue for Ja Morant. And if he feels that he can help the team with that hand, bruised as it is, he'll play. If he feels that it's going to be a detriment, he won't. And we're not going to know, I don't think, until I think the starting lineups are submitted 30 minutes prior to tip, and I think that's probably about when we'll find out.
My bet is the exact same thing. My bet is he will try and play. It is Game 2. It is pretty much a must-win for the Grizz. There was really an interesting story written about the relationship between Darvin Ham and Taylor Jacobs, who were together on the staff for Mike Budenholzer in Atlanta. What a staff that was. Quinn Snyder was on that staff as well. Quite the group and a lot of feedback between each other. Do you think their knowledge of the way each other thinks and responds is a part of the strategy of this particular series?
Of course. I think you would be it would be coaching malpractice if you didn't think about how the other guy thinks and what his counters are going to be and what his philosophy is, because any coach who is successful in any sport, they have to have a bedrock philosophy. What do you believe in? Now, the sets may change, the style may change a little bit, but certainly the bedrock ideals that Darvin Ham adheres to or Taylor Jenkins adheres to, they know that. And I think it makes it for a very intriguing coaching matchup. Two guys who are both quality human beings, both paid their dues, a little different background in that Taylor didn't play college basketball. Darvin played in the league. So it's an intriguing matchup, two really quality people.
They are, and both very articulate guys, seem to be deep thinkers. Do you think their styles are similar?
I think at the base level, the whole communication piece, which has always been fundamental to Taylor Jenkins, is certainly with Darvin Ham as well. He's got a much different roster because you've got a future Hall of Famer in LeBron James there. You also have a potential future Hall of Famer in Anthony Davis. Both of these coaches have had to manage very turbulent years and have done a good job. When you look at the Lakers, they had the best record in the Western Conference since the trade deadline. And they've used 29 different starting lineups. Only San Antonio used more this year. So that tells you, just how much it's been in and out. And you had Westbrook in and out. LeBron James. Here's the interesting thing, Dave. You look at the league leaderboards, the official league leaderboards. LeBron James and Anthony Davis are nowhere to be found. They did not play enough games to qualify. Yet, if they had played, I think a couple more games apiece, they both would be, top 10 in scoring. So and both these teams have had turbulent years for different reasons. The Grizzlies have been above 500 pretty much throughout. The Lakers were well below 500, and then the trade deadline, and credit to Rob Pelinka bringing him some quality role players like Rui Hachimura that have proven to be beneficial for the Lakers.
Well, Hachimura and Reeves, who started the year as a two-way guy, they were credited really with the win in Game 1, and that came from LeBron and AD themselves, although AD obviously was a big factor. 7 blocks, you couldn't take the ball inside against him. Can you see that kind of consistency with those complementary players? You throw in D'Angelo Russell in that, and the Grizz, when you talk about Kennard, Tyus Jones, and Tillman, say, as complementary guys, the difference in scoring in Game 1 was 71-18. I don't think that'll continue. But can the Lakers get those consistent performances from the complementary guys to AD and LeBron?
Well, I think that's a $64,000 question because, Hachimura, not a ton of playoff experience. Austin Reeves, playoff debut.
Yeah.
And they go for 20+. That doesn't seem to be tenable, over the long run. But Austin Reeves is a very good player. Hachimura certainly has proven his worth. Played in a high-profile program at Gonzaga. Like Desmond Bain said of Hachimura, let's see if he can shoot that way again in Game 2. I'm not really sure that he can. But to your point, Dave, the complimentary guys for the Grizzlies have to give them something. I mean, Luke Kennard, subpar game. Xavier Tillman, subpar game. Jaren Jackson Jr. was brilliant. John Morant, of course, was limited at the end of the game. So the complementary guys, to me, this is as much a matchup of complementary players as it is almost anything else.
I think that is spot on. What are the other keys for you as this game unfolds that you'll see if Memphis is to be successful?
Transition defense. I mean, you got to get back. And what we noticed watching the game, and we were sitting way up high with you out on the ledge in Game 1, you could see the Lakers were committed to long outlet passes, quick advance of the ball. Even after a made basket by the Grizzlies, they're throwing the ball to half court. They're getting into their offense very, very quickly. So I think the Grizzlies' ability to deal with the transition game of the Lakers. They are a high transition possession team. They haven't been terribly successful during the course of the regular season, but they certainly were on Sunday. Transition defense was the first thing Taylor Jenkins addressed in training camp this year. He's been addressing it every single year, and will have to be on point tonight. The other piece of this, Grizzlies, you want to get off to a really good start. Get the crowd involved, because for the first quarter of the game, the crowd really didn't have the juice that was provided by fast break baskets and slam dunks and three-pointers by the Grizzlies. And so there's got to be that synergy, I think, between the Grizzlies with their up-tempo and finishing at the rim, making some threes, get the fans involved, and really make the Lakers feel uncomfortable. I know there's going to be some purple and gold in the crowd. We know that. But certainly the Grizzlies need to get the plays that will involve the crowd in the game and make sure that this thing goes back to LA 1-1.
One of the interesting things to me, too, was to take 6'9" Vanderbilt and put him on the Grizz point guard. Whether it was Ja or later in the game with Tyus Jones, they put the big guy on him. How do you counteract that?
I think you're going to probably have to do some high ball screens to get Ja if he plays, or Tyus if he plays. The other thing, too, is can you play in space? Can you play quickly enough so that you don't have time for Jared Vanderbilt to go and find John Moran or Tyus Jones and pick him up half court? I think that, to me, the tempo of this game has to be, and understand, Lakers are a high transition possession team. They play at a very high pace, just as fast as the Grizzlies do. But the Grizzlies don't want this to get to be in a half-court game, because the best team in the Western Conference defensively in the last couple months of the season was the Los Angeles Lakers. And that always been the knock on them. They can score, but they don't defend. Well, now they're defending. And I think the Grizzlies really struggled in their half-court offense to get good quality looks and to get scores late in the game. And as you know, playoff games become half-court affairs at the end. And the Lakers were better at it than the Grizzlies were in the fourth quarter.
Any surprises for you in the first round here, away from the Lakers and the Grizz, in particular Sacramento and Golden State? And we haven't mentioned this today, but I kind of felt it was coming. Draymond Green, a one-game suspension, so when they go home to San Francisco, the Warriors will not have Draymond Green to play a critical Game 3 with the Warriors down 2-0.
Yeah, I'm not totally flabbergasted by the fact that Sacramento won both games. I mean, they're just playing great basketball right now. And look, you talk about the knowledge of coaches, one of the other. Well, Mike Brown certainly knows what the Golden State Warriors are all about.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and so I think that's an advantage to him. The Draymond Green thing. Look, Joe Dumars said, "Hey, it was a really tough decision." The fact of the matter is that Draymond Green is going the Dennis Rodman route. Phenomenally gifted player, one of the most unique players in our league in recent memory. But he really does not help his legacy. He does not help his reputation by doing the stuff that he does. And, I think Grizzlies fans are a little tired of all the apologetics that are coming from Golden State about what a wonderful guy he is. Like, yeah, okay.
Right. Yeah. They kind of lost me forever last year with the way Steve Kerr and Draymond Green reacted, honestly. And I love the way they play. I don't think anybody who appreciates basketball and has watched this team, especially in their 60-plus win year, how beautiful the way they played the game. But Draymond has definitely overstepped it here. And, I thought it was beautifully explained when they said we took history, Draymond's, into account when we made this one-game suspension. Can they overcome it, though? Can they overcome what I am now calling the Sabonis stomp?
Can they? Yeah, sure. I mean, Klay Thompson gets on a heater. Steph Curry gets on a heater. And Chase Center is a difficult place in which to play. Their fan base is very rabid. Is it possible that they get this series 2-2 going back to Sacramento? It's possible. I don't think it's likely. I think we probably see a split in San Francisco, and Sacramento probably closes us out in 5.
I'm not going to disagree. Winning those two the way they did, that was pretty impressive for sure. Pete, enjoy tonight. You're going to have a much better view. You're downstairs again. I'll view it from long distance, but I love the atmosphere. The first game was just beautiful pregame. That's for certain.
It was. We're looking forward to a full building and an energetic building, and hopefully a Grizzlies win to send us back to LA 1-1.
You got it. Thank you. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Sounds good.
That's our friend. That's the television voice of the Grizzlies working the night. That is Pete Pranica. He is brought to you by the good folks at Dinstall's. And I got to tell you, Becky, she texted me last night and wanted me just to let everybody know how sweet this weekend is going to be. It's time to turn on the grit and grind, and Dinstall's is ready for all those watch parties. You can stop by, pick up your favorite sweet treats. We're talking Cashew Crunch. We're talking Turtlettes. And because of the Grizzlies in the playoffs, they are making these extra special chocolate basketballs. That'll sweeten the night wherever you are. Also, next week, it's time to thank your office staff. If you didn't realize this, it is Administrative Professionals Week. So don't miss the special Dinstall deals for your extra special people around the office. We're talking chocolate-covered strawberries, assorted chocolates, and a whole lot more with a special price for your special office people. Let Dinstall's help you say thanks. You know where to get it, where they make it on Pleasant View, downtown, Laurelwood, where I hang out, and the great stores in Germantown and in Collierville. We take a break. When we come back, we make golf picks a little different this week. No WGR into account because it's teams in New Orleans. Mickey Barker, Johnny Lyon, and J-Mo. They're all next with me when we again prognosticate.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Simple, smooth, and every sip as easy as the last. Tito's handmade vodka tastes just as good with tap water as it does with your favorite mixer. Back in the day, Tito distilled, hand-bottled, taste-tested, sent to a few friends, then taste-tested again to give you the finest juice around. No frills, no flavors, no fancy labels, just the good stuff. Just Tito's. For recipes, videos, and more, visit Tito'sVodka.com. Distilled and bottled in Austin, Texas, 40% alcohol by volume, namely 80 proof, crafted to be savored responsibly.
WeatherGuard, the name that stands for unmatched security in truck boxes, is now making a name for itself on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series circuit. WeatherGuard is the official sponsor of the safety and security work crews at Speedway Motorsports tracks across the country. Engineered to meet the demands from job sites to race sites, WeatherGuard truck boxes feature double welded seams, weather-tight seals, and high security latches and locks. If it's a job worth doing, it's a job worth WeatherGuard. Learn more at weatherguard.com/truck.
Sorry, but we actually have a wait list for our Monstera.
Shaw's greenhouse is really bringing in the green.
We can't keep snake plants in stock.
She needs a construction manager to build on her roots and grow.
We could add a whole section for ferns, and here we'd have dahlias, dahlias, and more dahlias.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
All 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 miles, 20 cents excess mileage, Forte PE 581,348, MSRP 21,690, Sotos P 745,838, MSRP 24,840, Soul P 7205,317, MSRP 22,250. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 4/30/23. Dealer stock only. Warranties. Limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details. Hey, Jeff Allen, I'm ready to get on the road for better days ahead, and I know Kia's the way to go. What do you got over there at Gossett Kia South Mount Moriah?
How about 2023 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG $249 a month, $27.99 due at signing, or take your pick from these great SUVs. 2023 Seltos LX all-wheel drive, $29.99 due at signing. Or a 2023 Kia Soul LX, $27.99 due at signing, only $269 a month. All 36-month lease.
Plus Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
And if you don't see it, I'll order exactly what you're looking for. So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia on Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com.
Now back to Wolo and Friends on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM, presented by Homer Skelton Hyundai. Here once again is the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin.
Welcome back in. Penny Hardaway commenting today, really couldn't comment much on the Mikey Williams situation. Penny asked about it. The ending quote was, I'm going to continue to recruit. But as of right now, Mikey is still with us. That's how I have to keep it until otherwise. That's why I say I can't really speak on the case. Nothing has happened thus far. And again, Mikey Williams has absolutely claimed innocence in the shooting of a car where no one was injured, thank goodness, but a car was hit with bullets after leaving his house last week. In the meantime, here's the numbers on our golf picks. After Matthew Fitzpatrick won his second PGA Tour event, I now have $9,314,000. That's $6 million and change over Mickey Barker. $3,161,000. J-Mo, you're not in the cellar anymore. $2,233,000. And we had the wrong numbers on Johnny Lyon.
It's my miscalculation.
On the first week, he had Spieth and he had Patrick Reed. So he really was in second last week, but not anymore. He's in last with just under $1,900,000 with the adjusted amount. So he is going to go first, and then you, J-Mo, Mickey Barker from Memphis City Golf will go third, and I will go last. Let me get both these guys on. We'll start with Johnny Lyon, and I want to begin with you, Johnny, because what do you think of the team concept? You know, it's interesting. We absolutely love the Ryder Cup. I don't know that I love all of this because you got countries and you only got, 5 groups out at one time against another team. And this is sort of different. How do you like it?
You know, it's not my favorite, but it's interesting. And, some of these pairings I think are going to be fun to watch. And, after last week, Jordan Spieth sort of let a lot of people down.
Well, yeah, you know what, Jordan Spieth, I love the way you said it too. On the putt on the first playoff hole, everybody thinks it's in. He said 8 out of 10 times that would have gone in. I thought that was a funny remark to begin with. All right, Mickey Barker, give me your thoughts on the team competition.
I like it, Dave. I think it's great once a year. It gives a little bit of something different to the tournament in New Orleans, where it's not a designated event, so the field would be down. But this gives it something different and should get a lot of eyeballs on it this weekend. So, yeah, I like it once a year.
I believe the numbers from the playoff were pretty darn good last week, television ratings-wise. And I think, I said that point because somebody brought that out. That was without live players. And the numbers for a non-major at Harbortown, but it wasn't it was a designated event, so there was a big field of prominent people, but the numbers were pretty good. I asked Mickey, I want you to comment on that because, look, you're the head of Memphis Public Golf. You have been for the last, 10, 15 years, however long it's been. We know that the industry turned the corner when COVID hit, and it became a thing to do. I think it's still going strong. Is that accurate?
That is true, yes. It's still going. We saw the big influx of people getting on the courses at COVID during that time, and it's not changed. It's still going just as strong as it was. And now we're seeing, as we're doing in Memphis, we're renovating some golf courses We're seeing new golf courses built all over the country, which wasn't happening prior to COVID. We were actually losing courses all over the country. So yeah, it's a big draw right now. Golf is booming very much as it was in the early to mid '90s. So it's a great time to be in golf.
Do you worry about just absolutely wearing out Galloway and Fox Meadows because you don't have Audubon and won't have for at least another year or so, and still haven't opened up Pine Hill?
Well, we are. There is, we're seeing some wear and tear, especially on Galloway, but we're, as we talked about last week, making some steps to minimize that as much as possible. And we are, we're within 3 or 4 weeks of opening Pine Hill, so that'll take a little bit of pressure off of it. But we're ecstatic about the business we're having.
I should point out Whitehaven, by the way, is also open. I actually played that last week and enjoyed it immensely. It's a gem, but it's getting a lot of play, too, because of the closure of the other 2 big courses. I can't wait till they're all open. All right, let's make picks. Johnny, this is a rare position for you going first. Oh, my goodness. Hard to fathom. And, there's a few, 2 or 3 really high-profile tandems here, but after that, you got to really look.
Yeah, it's a weak field. Yeah, there's no doubt. Not the big money draw, so a lot of the big name players are not playing. But of course, picking first, going to have to go with Xander and Cantley,
and they're the defending champions. That makes no doubt about it. That makes total sense. J-Mo.
I will take. I'll write down the board. They were my first ones. My second one's on my list. Sam Burns and Billy Horschel this week.
Yeah.
I think they finished second last year, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they have finished, like, they play together a bunch. I don't think they've ever finished worse than 4th in one of these events. So I think that is terrific. All right, Mr. Pro, Mickey Barker, what are you doing?
Well, I'm going to take the team that has the second best odds in Morikawa and Max Homa.
Of course you are. They spoke eloquently about how they complement each other's games. I thought that was an interesting conversation. Im and Keith Mitchell are next in line by odds here. I'm going to go a little different just because I like this guy. Sahith Theegala. I followed him with his family at Southwind last year. What a delightful family. He's playing great. I don't know that much about Justin Suh, but I'm just going to say I like Theegala. I'm going with him.
Justin Suh is the Corn Ferry Player of the Year last year. So he won the championship.
Fantastic. All right. Back to Johnny.
All right. Well, since you're not going to take them, I will take Keith Mitchell and him.
Okay. Makes total sense.
For me, I'm going to go back to the well. Didn't do well for me last week, but I'm going to take him again. I think this is a good course for him, and I love his partner, too. Tom Kim and Siwoo Kim this week.
I love Tom Kim. He's my new hero. He's only 20. And Siwoo, okay.
The Kim brothers.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with, right down the list, Taylor Montgomery and Kurt Kitayama.
Yeah.
Kitayama's playing fantastic
He
this
is.
year, so I think he's due for another win.
So if I go down the list, I would take Victor Perez and Thomas Derry. I don't want that. I will go with Harris English and Tom Hoagie.
Very good pick.
That's a good one.
Last pick, Johnny.
Okay, going to go with surprise pick. Going to pick the Fitzpatrick brothers.
That's a good pick. The only thing that would make me hesitate is, will Matthew have his head in the game after he just won last week? It's a little like Rahm was at Harbor Town. He didn't play very good the first couple of days because you're so distracted from winning. J-Mo.
I think this gets tough for me. I think I'm going to take Joel Dahman, who I don't really know much about, but he's playing with Denny McCarthy, who I think Johnny took last week. So I'm going to take the 2 pair of them.
Okay.
I'm going to jump down a little bit and
both players have been playing very well.
You better not
for the
take
most
my
part.
guys. You better
I'm
not
gonna
take my guy.
J.J. Spawn and Hayden Buckley.
Oh,
Both
no.
been playing pretty well.
No, you didn't take my guy. Who are you going with again? They're not even on my list. J.J. Spawn,
Hayden Buckley. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I'm going to go with Oldsters. This is absolutely a sentimental pick, but these two guys always seem to play decently. Steve Stricker and Zach Johnson. Give me the old guys.
That's good. I thought you were going to take John Daly and David Duval.
No, I thought about it, but I don't think those guys are fit enough to play. There is a cut in this, right?
That's correct.
I believe so, yeah.
I'll be shocked if Daly and Duval make the cut. I'll be pulling for them, but I'll be shocked if they make the cut. All right, so it's Johnny, I'd have to place you as the favorite for this week with Xander and Cantlay, Im and Mitchell, and the Fitzpatricks. J-Mo's got Burns and Horschel. He's got the Kims, Tom and Siwoo, and he's got Joel Dahman and McCarthy. Morikawa and Homa, I like those guys. I think they could absolutely win, Mickey. He's got Kitayama and Montgomery and Spawn and Buckley, and I would put myself in last here in terms of chances with Thigala and Sue, English and Hoagie, Stricker, and Johnson. It's been...
And they'll probably finish 1, 2, 3. The way this year's
That's
going.
right. He's on a hot streak. He's not giving himself enough credit.
Well, $6.3 million, or $6 million advantage early on. But, when you're playing for $3.6 million purses, I can be caught. This one, what is the winning team here gets 2.4, right?
2 point something. That's right.
Yeah. I can be caught. I mean, it's early.
Sure.
It's early.
Yeah,
guys.
I played Fox Meadows yesterday, and
give us
good there, Mickey.
Give us your rundown.
Awesome. Yeah, it looked good. Of course, they aerified the fairways, but
you know what?
The greens look good.
All right, last thing, because we're already late. But I do want to ask Mickey about that. Why don't more courses do that? I would think it would take the compactness of the fairway out, and if you fertilize, if you got the money for fertilizer, then it would absolutely grow better fairways. Why do we not see that more often? We see greens get punched every year 2 or 3 times. Hardly ever do we see fairways.
Well, we try to do it as often as we can. Galloway and Fox have already airified fairways, so we're trying to, and most courses try to, but it just takes a lot of work, a lot of time.
He's Mickey Barker from Memphis Public Golf. Johnny Lyon, the old Mid-South golfer, selling now those blazers to all the golf courses around. Picks are in. Thank you, guys. We'll talk next week.
Good deal. Thank you, Wolo.
That is Mickey Barker and Johnny Lyon, and, of course, J-Mo. Picks are in. This last portion has been brought to you by, speaking of golf, Miramichi. It's open. It's still beautiful. I'm telling you, go out and just take a walk around Miramichi. You can ride, but it's a walkable course. There's not that much distance between the tees and the last green that you played. And I'm telling you, the back 9 is a walk through the woods with this meandering stream, and you can play 4 or 5 different tee boxes to make it ultra challenge or ultra fun, whichever way you choose to go. And keep in mind, Cheryl Pardue has let me know there's memberships available. That includes all the golf balls you can hit in practice facilities, and you don't pay for the carts if you've got a membership. I mean, it's a good deal. All you got to do is call Miramichi, ask for Cheryl, tell them we sent you. Ask about membership at that great course just north of Memphis in Woodstock. We call it Miramichi. That'll do it for us. Tomorrow, usual suspects, and we'll talk to Grizz. See you then.
Saturday.